So my name is Matej Prapotnik. I am a professor of physics at the University of Ljubljana, Slovenia, and I'm also head of laboratory for molecular modeling at the National Institute of Chemistry in Ljubljana. So my research interests are multi-scale simulation and modeling, where we develop multi-scale algorithms to solve complex problems in biomolecular systems. I'm current chair of PRAISE Scientific Steering Committee, which is a body of PRAISE that gives all the advices related to science to the organization. And currently, as a chair of this Scientific Steering Committee, I'm also involved in this fast track call that PRAISE organized to fight COVID-19 pandemic. We are 5 scientists working on daily basis, and we then, when the project comes in, we redistribute them among reviewers, scientific reviewers all over the world, and based on their reports, which are also coming in very swiftly, we then distribute the computer time on supercomputers in Europe. And this fast track call, basically our focus is on different areas related to the COVID-19. So there are biomolecular simulation to understand the mechanism of the virus spread. Then we also are basically interested in bioinformatics to understand how mutation so all these gene information are related to COVID-19 disease. We are also interested in computational fluid dynamics study, for example, how viruses spreads via droplets flow. And so basically we are in all of the screening and docking related research, which is perhaps the most expected in this area. But by this urgent computing endeavor, we actually were, and fight against COVID, we were touching different communities which are not usually communicate with themselves. So now we are faced in the new situation, and we are learning a lot.
How have these centers, or how has PRAISE and the centers that you represent enabled and accelerated the scientific research that is being undertaken through your accelerated projects?
Of course, computers and simulations, this is now a third pillar of science apart from the theory and experiments. And then they can give you an informed, they can provide you help to be able to make an informed decision. And of course, they are interconnected with the experiments and theory. So this is not a standalone pillar. Of course, these systems, when you find them, so biomolecular systems are extremely complex. So that means that you are talking about an enormous number of molecular degrees of freedom, so numbers of atoms, and there is quite a huge information to be tackled. So you need a lot of computer power. So that's why you need to actually model and study such system. You need a lot of computer power, and here basically the supercomputers come into play. And so in order to provide a swift response, we have to then, of course, enable access to scientists or engineers to get to this supercomputing time to tackle such problem as soon as possible. So PRAISE is actually, the role of PRAISE is it distributes and gives access to supercomputing time in Europe, mostly through the access to 5 supercomputers. So the 5 hosting members, which are in Germany, Switzerland, France, Italy, and Spain. Now for this fast track call, we had to, as I said, establish a new selection committee composed of 5 persons, and we are actually then working on daily basis to provide to select the projects, which are then selected within 1 week to be run on the computer centers throughout Europe. And the response was really excellent. So in the past half a year, we selected, we obtained more than 80 projects the selection rate was less than 50%.
But it shows how, like, you're bringing these centers together. You're speeding up the review time so that they
yes,
they
of
have...
course. There is also one aspect that at these computer centers you need to have people who help you to be able to set up the code. These are these software engineers, and of course, and the office of praise that actually communicates between the selection committee and the supercomputer center. So there are three stages. One is selection of projects, which has to be selected on a scientific basis. Then, of course, there is this office that communicates then between us and the supercomputer centers. And then, of course, at the supercomputer centers, you need to have also a personnel that actually makes possible that different codes that come with the different principal investigators is then set up such that it can be run on that particular supercomputer center.
Awesome. Awesome. That's really good. Yeah, thank you. So we'll move on to the last question. We've actually managed to cover off quite a bit, which is great. The last question is, as we are in a pandemic, the sharing of knowledge and collaboration is more important than ever. And I guess a group like PRAISE is very knowledgeable in effective collaboration and knowledge sharing. What initiatives are you involved in to help accelerate and advance the COVID-19 research in the name of global collaboration?
Yes. Okay. So what I have mentioned so far is that, of course, in this fast track call, one demand was also that all the knowledge or all the scientific knowledge that come out of the simulation has to be openly accessed. So we have to enable open access, that all the scientific community gets this information as soon as possible. So that in this sense, we mean, every paper has to be archived as soon as possible with an open access to the rest. And of course, for this purpose, and also all the trajectories that are calculated, computed within this call have to be also openly accessible. So that means that, but of course, this means a lot of here we also tackled, apart from the access to the high performance computers, to the cycles, we need also data storage. So actually here with PRAISE, we collaborated with different organizations, for example, Phoenix or BioXcel, EMBL, to actually get this repository done, where you can store the data. And basically here, because this pandemic is global, of course, we actually collaborate not only within Europe, but also all over the world. So for example, with ExCeed, which is a partner organization in the US, we are organizing a webinar, monthly webinar, where we actually PIs from both ExCeed ExCeed and PRAISE are presenting the current state where they are at. So we provided a platform where people can discuss, exchange their ideas, and get new collaboration done in order to solve the problem as soon as possible. This is a global problem which we have to solve together somehow. And with the collaboration, we can get there faster.
I think you made like some really good points, especially talking about the fact that this is a global problem. This isn't individual to Slovenia or Australia or the US. This is the same problem that every single person in the world is facing. And we, as in you, myself, our research communities are in a privileged position where we have access to such advanced technologies that we can help save every single individual on this planet if we're doing our research right and if we're working together to do that. So it's a really important message that you said that, this is a global problem. We have to solve it together, and it's centers like ours that can make it happen faster. Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. It was nice meeting you. Yes.